largest trucks in the world. The height of a 3-story building, the radius of the wheel is greater than the average height of a man. What sort of factory can produce such machinery?
Once it was just a small town where a company which manufactured peat machinery was founded. At that time, there was not a square meter of asphalt in the area, in the whole small town. BelAz, as a manufacturer of mining equipment, was born in 1958. In the early 1960s, a special engineering department was organized. It began solving the complicated task of switching from regular dump trucks to dump trucks which could operate in difficult conditions. If prior to 1960, BelAz assembled dump trucks designed by other factories, in 1961, the first real BelAz truck was assembled. We were determined at the time to assemble 27-ton trucks, 40-ton trucks, maybe even more.
Maybe? How much more could the human mind imagine back then?
The shape of the mine dump truck was formed back in the 1960s. The first thing was a short wheelbase, small distance between the front and the back axles, a funnel-shaped body without a tailgate, with the driver's cab moved to the side. But the best solution for BelAz was a pneumatic hydraulic suspension of our own design. It is better than anybody else's.
BelAz has retained its form, but since then its capacity has risen 10 times, and every time such an increase has required new sophisticated solutions.
Before 1980, the factory made mostly small trucks. I call them small, but they weighed 30 to 45 tons. And everything was based on rigid technology. The parts were strictly linked to manufacturing machines. It was very difficult to introduce new production. When we made a decision to move to higher capacity trucks, we had to change production technology.
It was a risky decision at the time to switch to flexible technologies based on computer technologies, a so-called numerical program control.
After that, we had a production unit of programmed machines which today are the backbone, the core of manufacturing our big trucks. This production unit was the basis for the later 110, 180, 220, 240, and 360-ton trucks. Had we continued to maintain rigid technologies, I think we would not have had big trucks today. We could not have created them.
BelAz did not just create, it launched a mass production. And could Henry Ford have imagined that almost a half-century after his invention, such giants would be assembled on conveyor belts?
We have a unique technology. None of those who manufacture such equipment put together such trucks on assembly lines.
There were many brave steps in the history of the factory. Back in the late 1970s, BelAz started to apply a new design solution, the electromechanical transmission.
It was a difficult and crucial moment, a fundamentally new design of trucks with a diesel engine, supporting a generator which produces electricity. Further, there are electrical circuits and electric motors in the wheel, and it is those motors that spin the wheel.
In the early 1990s, it turned out that overcoming technical problems was not the most difficult thing. The Soviet Union collapsed, and the factory was on the verge of extinction.
We faced a very difficult task, to be or not to be. We not only had to rebuild the entire production, but also the entire technological chain of the factory. We also had to rebuild the products which were manufactured in the Soviet Union.
At that time, BelAz decided to significantly expand its range of products, offering miners a comprehensive supply of mining equipment.
Our pioneers, those who created the mining 27-ton dump trucks, Could not even think that someday mining trucks with a carrying capacity 320 to 360 tons would be produced in the same enterprise. Yet today it is a real-life picture.
A unique enterprise. One of every 3 mining trucks in the world, in 70 countries, in the space of 65 years. What is the secret of such results? Not just technologies, not only equipment, people.
If people come to work and don't care, don't know their job, or half-hearted in their work, it is not possible to create good machinery.
People work here who love and appreciate their factory, their business. Any engineering design, any new thing is difficult. And if it's difficult, it's interesting.
Being engaged in such a great cause always gives you a sense of pride.
We had no idea that BelAz would be so big and that BelAz products would be known all over the world.
Today, BelAz has a leading position in the world economy among the manufacturers of mining equipment.
What we create works everywhere. BelAz is present in all continents. This is important. 35% of the world market is filled by BelAz equipment. I've been in different countries, but when I say BelAz, everybody knows where I'm from. People already recognize Belarus, and they even know us in Las Vegas.
It is so huge, you know, it's just unbelievable.
Really impressed because then from listening to the people out here, got good reviews.
People that buy this truck will be not just happy to have it, but they'll be buying many more in the future.
At the same exhibition of 2012, BelAz surprised the international community with a sensational announcement. In 1 year, the factory will release a truck with a carrying capacity of 450 tons.
They made a splash in the world. This is a big deal. We had an idea about such a truck already at the end of last century, the idea of our predecessors.
We had some challenges solving the basic problem so that it could transport 450 tons of rock mass. The first difficulties were associated with tires which could withstand such a load. We were forced to choose an unusual layout. This truck has 8 tires and not 6. When we decided to set up dual wheels, we had to face another technical challenge. In order to keep the same dump truck turning radius, we had to make 2 independent axles.
In the end, we decided upon a turning radius of less than 20 meters, which is a very short radius and gives better maneuverability for such a truck.
So the truck could maintain its speed characteristics. First time, we had to install 2 engines on this mining dump truck. This dumper has all-wheel drive.
BelAz has built new production buildings especially for assembling super heavy machinery.
We now produce mining dump trucks of such capacity. And of course, we're proud of BelAz, of our production unit, and of our people. Our feelings are overwhelming.
This dump truck was created by all the people who designed the first dump truck back in 1961, and the people who are the successors of those thoughts and those ideas. Therefore, this is the work of many thousands of employees, the work of all generations who are the originators of this creation.
My son works here at the department as a design engineer. My daughter also works at the factory. My wife, also at the factory. Our grandchildren are still small, but our children are already working, continuing the dynasty. There are very few people in the town of Zodino whose lives are not tied with BelAz. BelAz for Zodino is essential. Zodino without BelAz is like BelAz without wheels. Our town is blooming and blossoming thanks to the factory. Just look how beautiful it is here in the summer. See what parks and streets we have, how clean it is. You could walk in slippers around the city, or even barefoot.
In the town, we created a vocational school, a school and a branch of the Polytechnic Institute. We have a swimming pool, all kinds of sports facilities, all kinds of sports clubs, an excellent cultural center in the town. We made a major renovation and improved our stadium, which is owned by BelAz.
We have our own health and recreation centers.
Very few companies have preserved this segment of services for their employees. We try to offer the best options for our workers to improve their health.
It is though nothing is enough for them. In 2012, BelAz became a holding company, incorporating companies from different towns and cities of Belarus.
Usually, these are enterprises from small towns. By moving our production of individual parts to their facilities, we give people jobs, give them the opportunity to live at home.
We have built up a large production capacity through cooperation with the leading enterprise BelAz from Zodino. To date, the farm completely satisfies our needs for meat products, meat, and vegetables.
BelAz has given us a boost in life, has told us that we needed to move on, that we could not stop there. We are in the top 3 world-leading manufacturers of mining dump trucks. We make serious efforts to supply our mining trucks primarily to foreign markets.
The factory is growing, developing, and heavy vehicles are now very much in demand. Once, the largest was a 220-ton truck. Now, we produce 450-ton trucks.
World mining will keep growing. We will have plenty of work ahead of us.
We've already been around for 65 years, and we want to continue working for many dozens of years to produce more trucks.